Greetings, everybody. I just wanted to go over basically how to successfully respond to the quiz questions. Um, I'm noticing the responses that are coming in for week 1 and week 2 are very general and broad, and they're not giving a lot of evidence that the student is engaged with the material and is reading the material. Perhaps you are, and you're just not providing the examples that are presented to you in the chapters and lectures. But it's real important, right? We're not in class together. I can't pick on you when you raise your hand or ask you to write up on the board and to see if you are engaged with the material. So in an online class, it's the the benefits of an online class is it is very convenient for you because you could adhere to your own schedule. The downside is it's really incumbent on you to demonstrate that you are engaged with the material. So please demonstrate you're engaged in the material. So let's go through. So here we're looking at chapter 2, drawing the color line. That's going to be part of what's going to be on the quiz, and also lecture 1 is going to be on the quiz. So let's just start with chapter 2. Notice that there are always a series of questions at the top of each chapter, right? Notice this. Be sure to provide specific examples from the text in your responses. Responses should be at least 1 to 2 paragraphs. Now, that's a general guideline. It could be more, right? But make sure whatever your response is, it's specific and has examples from the actual readings. Also, be sure, I sent this link out in Remind. Remind is also posted in the announcements, so you can check there as well. But these are general guidelines on how to respond to the quizzes and to the lectures, too. I basically just have some suggestions here, and very hard suggestions here. So avoid using the word they. I mean, it's okay if you use the word they, but then specify what they you were talking about. Are you talking about Europeans? Great. Which Europeans? Are you talking about the English? Are you talking about the Spanish? You're talking about English colonists, right? Be very specific. What theys are you talking about? Be specific. So if you haven't noticed, as in anything, you really want to be specific to demonstrate that you are engaged with the material. Avoid using the word Native American or Indians. This isn't for PC reasons. This is just, again, to demonstrate that you are being specific. Are you referring to the Algonquin? Are you referring to the Powhatan? Are you referring to the Arawak, right? Are you referring to the Creeks, the Cherokee? These are different people. It would be just as absurd to say all Europeans are the same and refer to Europeans as just Europeans and really not note the difference between someone from Scotland versus from someone from Spain, right? Yes, they share similar cultural and historic experiences, but overall they are very distinct people, right? Same goes with people like the Cherokee versus that of the Arawak. Let's see. Again, avoid using the word European. Which Europeans are you referring to, right? It's okay to use the word colonist, but which colonists are you referring to? Are you referring to Spanish colonists, English colonists? Are you referring to people from the Carolinas? Are you referring to English colonists from Virginia? Are you referring to English colonists from Pennsylvania? Right? Be specific. When possible, this is a history class, refer to dates, right? At the very least, refer to the actual years in which you're talking about. And so, yes, always make sure that after your response that you have a year plugged in, and try to be specific with that as possible. There are plenty of individuals identified, so when it's relevant to the prompt, identify historic individuals that are relevant to the prompt. When in doubt, if you haven't caught this theme yet, be specific, right? Also, be sure to go back and develop your responses from week 1 chapter questions. Those questions stand a chance of being randomly selected on exam 1, and that's true for exam 2, for quiz 2 and quiz 3 as well. So during the exams, quiz questions will be randomly selected as indicated in the syllabus. So make sure that you are going back and further developing those questions. All right, so let's go over here, right? And we can just pick any of these questions, right? So let's just pick this one. How do we know slaves resisted their treatment, right? So to respond to that specific part of the question, give specific examples, right? So in the readings, you're going to notice all sorts of examples of how slaves resisted their treatment. One of the ways they did it was through rebellions, right? So around here, it begins talking about a very specific rebellion that happened in Stono. So you could refer to that. You could also just refer to examples the author gives about how slaves resisted in general on a day-to-day basis. So some of them are going to work slower, whatnot. Some of them are going to fight back, specifically with their overseers and slave owners, so on and so forth. But make sure that you are being specific and finding examples or referring to examples as you read within the chapter. All right, the other thing I want to point out while I still have you here is the study guide for the lectures. Now, they're not comprehensive, but I highly recommend using these. This one right here, an example, I've seen a couple of people just sort of guess and kind of definitely they've Googled it. So if you Google this term, I guarantee you will get it wrong. Please refer to the lecture video. I sent that out in Reminds and queued it up specifically. So what I'm referring to is the lecture video. If you opened it up here, most, not all, but most learning objectives come with a video. So in this video, the American Paradox is referred to. So please view that and take notes on that. I'll let you do that on your own so I don't take too much time in this video here. And again, what you're doing in these learning objectives, if you're specifically responding to the learning objective prompt, use the provided study guide questions. They will help you respond specifically to this prompt. And once you have a response to all three of these learning objectives, then you have a response to the lecture essay that will be asked of you during the exam. I highly recommend preparing for that right now, not waiting until the exam is about to expire. That is a sure way of not succeeding in this course. So your goal is to succeed in this course, so that is how you will do it. Be sure you are being specific in your responses. If you do that, you will be very successful in this course. Use the study guide questions. Those are tools. Don't fish for your answers. There are no real answers in this class. There are responses. And use the study guides as a way of formulating your responses. Again, you can use notes, 4x6 note card, to use notes. So definitely use that to your advantage. Let me know if you have any questions. You can always get me on Remind. Take care and goodbye.